Sigma males like to think they see everything. They pride themselves on being the ones who notice patterns, spot mistakes, and stay 2 steps ahead of everyone else. But here's the shocking truth. Even Sigma males are blind to some of the most important things about themselves. They underestimate the way they affect people. They misjudge their own emotions. And sometimes the very traits they're most proud of are the ones holding them back. What makes this so powerful is that these blind spots aren't small details. They shape relationships, careers, and even the way Sigma males see their own worth. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the truths Sigma males rarely notice, but everyone around them feels. 1. They intimidate people far more than they realize. Sigma males rarely try to intimidate anyone. In their mind, they're simply being direct, efficient, and focused on results. But the way this comes across can feel very different to others. Their intensity, sharp eye contact, and ability to cut straight to the heart of an issue often make people feel like they're under pressure, even when the Sigma male is just being honest. Imagine a team meeting where everyone is brainstorming ideas. A Sigma sits silently, listening, and then calmly says, "That won't work. Here's why." To him, it's just efficient problem solving. But to the person whose idea was dismissed, it feels like being shut down by someone who already seems 3 steps ahead. Even a raised eyebrow or long pause can make others second-guess themselves. What Sigma males fail to see is how much weight their presence carries. A single comment can silence a room. Coworkers hesitate to challenge them, assuming the Sigma has already considered every angle. Friends may hold back their true feelings, worried about being dismissed. This unintended intimidation creates distance, making it harder for the Sigma male to build trust. The irony is that Sigma males often want honest, straightforward communication, but their aura causes people to self-censor. The blind spot is assuming everyone else feels as comfortable with blunt truth as they do. Once Sigma males recognize this, they can use their presence more consciously, balancing authority with encouragement. When they do, their intensity doesn't just command respect, it inspires trust. 2. Their perfectionism paralyzes them. Some people move fast and break things. Sigma males are not usually those people. For them, every step must have purpose, every project must be polished, and every plan must cover every angle. This relentless pursuit of quality is why their work often shines above the rest. But here's the catch. Perfectionism can easily turn into paralysis. They over-research, over-prepare, and delay launching because it's not ready yet. To them, it feels responsible. To the outside world, it looks like stalling. Opportunities slip away while they're still refining. Meanwhile, others less skilled but quicker to act are already moving ahead. The tragedy is that perfectionism, left unchecked, robs Sigma males of momentum. Emails stay unsent, side hustles stay unfinished, and creative ideas sit on hard drives collecting dust. Their belief that mistakes equal failure blinds them to the truth. Mistakes are the very fuel of mastery. When they embrace good enough as a stepping stone, their natural standards elevate their work without holding them hostage. Combined with action, their perfectionism becomes a weapon, not a weight. And once they see that, they stop paralyzing themselves and start outperforming everyone around them. 3. They underestimate how rare their mindset actually is. To a Sigma male, his way of thinking feels ordinary. He sees patterns, anticipates problems, and plans 10 steps ahead without effort. It feels so natural that he assumes anyone could do it with a bit of focus. But in reality, their mindset is exceptionally rare. Most people don't thrive on long-term strategy or system building. Most people aren't wired to detach from emotions and evaluate with clarity. That uniqueness is what makes Sigma males so valuable, not just in careers, but in relationships and communities. Others quietly rely on their clarity, even if the Sigma male never notices. The blind spot is that they often downplay this gift. Instead of recognizing it as exceptional, they grow frustrated that others don't get it. They underestimate their influence, thinking their perspective is just average. Once Sigma males see how unusual their mind truly is, everything shifts. Recognizing their rarity isn't arrogance, it's responsibility. It pushes them to step into leadership, to share their vision, and to trust their instincts. What feels normal to them is extraordinary to everyone else. And when they finally embrace that, they stop seeing themselves as outsiders and start seeing themselves as the rare strategists the world actually needs. 4. They're way more judgmental than they believe they are. Ask a Sigma male, and he'll insist he's not judgmental, just objective. He genuinely believes his assessments are grounded in reason, not bias. And compared to many people, he does evaluate more carefully. But his mind works like a filter, constantly sorting people, ideas, and choices into categories. To him, it's efficient. To others, it often feels like judgment. Imagine meeting someone new. Within minutes, the Sigma male quietly decides if this person is competent, trustworthy, or worth engaging with. He doesn't announce the verdict, but his tone and attention shift. The other person feels the distance and assumes they've already failed some invisible test. The positive side is that this sharp discernment helps Sigma males avoid wasting time on shallow connections or poor decisions. They usually surround themselves with people of real value. The blind spot. That same efficiency sometimes cuts people off too soon. Hidden strengths and potential are overlooked simply because they weren't obvious at first glance. When Sigma males slow down their judgments, they unlock opportunities they'd normally miss. By turning judgment into discernment, they keep their high standards intact while also giving others space to reveal their true worth. 5. They're more emotional than they realize. On the outside, Sigma males often look calm, collected, and unshaken. They've mastered the art of keeping a straight face, even in chaos. People assume their decisions are purely rational, but inside, emotions play a far bigger role than they admit. Anger often comes out as impatience with inefficiency. Hurt shows up as withdrawal. Excitement transforms into obsession with a new project. To the Sigma male, it all feels logical. To everyone else, it's clear that feelings are steering the ship. This hidden intensity has two sides. On one hand, it fuels their passion and loyalty. Their emotions are what make them fight so fiercely for the projects or people they care about. On the other, unacknowledged emotions distort decisions. They may reject opportunities out of fear while calling it logic, or clash with someone not because of reason, but because of wounded pride. The blind spot isn't having emotions, it's pretending they don't. When Sigma males recognize that their logic is guided by feelings, they stop being at war with themselves. Instead, they use emotion as fuel, turning their focus into something unstoppable. 6. They come across as colder than they feel. Actions over words. That's the Sigma male way. They show loyalty through consistency, love through reliability, and care through problem solving. In their mind, this is the most genuine form of expression. But to the people around them, it doesn't always land. A partner who craves verbal reassurance may feel neglected. A friend who wants warmth in the moment might mistake silence for distance. Even at work, their calm composure is often misread as disapproval. The truth is, Sigma males usually feel far warmer than they appear. They care deeply, but they expect their actions to speak for themselves. The blind spot is forgetting that not everyone interprets actions the same way. This doesn't mean they need to change who they are. Small adjustments, a kind word, a softer tone, or a moment of reassurance go a long way. When they pair action with expression, their steady presence no longer feels cold. It feels safe, loyal, and deeply trustworthy. 7. Their logical conclusions are frequently biased. Few things feel more secure to a Sigma male than the belief he's being logical. He's known for stripping away distractions, analyzing the facts, and making decisions based on reason. But even his sharpest conclusions aren't as bias-free as he thinks. Confirmation bias sneaks in, making him notice evidence that fits his views while ignoring what doesn't. Past experiences quietly shape how he interprets problems. Even pride or fear influences which rational choice he leans toward. To him, it still feels like clear logic. To others, it sometimes looks like stubbornness dressed up as reason. Here's the twist. His reasoning is still sharper than most people's, but the blind spot is assuming it's flawless. That assumption makes him less likely to double-check his own thinking, which is exactly what would make it stronger. When he applies his critical eye to himself, something powerful happens. His conclusions don't just appear rational. They actually become balanced, resilient, and harder to challenge. Logic isn't about removing bias. It's about recognizing it. And when Sigma males grasp that, their insights go from smart to truly unshakable. The irony of being a Sigma is this: the same qualities that make them brilliant also hide their biggest blind spots. Their presence inspires respect, but also creates distance. Their standards push excellence, but also paralyze progress. Their logic brings clarity, but still carries bias. These truths don't make Sigma males weaker. They make them human. And once they see what's been hidden in plain sight, they unlock a version of themselves that's not just intelligent, but complete. Because in the end, the greatest strength isn't seeing everything in others. It's finally seeing yourself clearly.